everyone, Heather Manzi with the Manzi Real Estate Group. I'm out here at R&B Farms, which is our newest listing for land and a really great opportunity, whether you're going to be using the place for a cozy home of your own or whether you want to get interested in maybe having a self-sustaining piece of land that you can create your income and live. So I actually stole a few minutes to talk to Rob Neuschwaner, which is the owner of R&B Farms. And let's go inside and talk a little bit about this historic and amazing property. So I just wanted to ask a few questions about the property because you've been out here for a number of years. Mm-hmm. You've done dramatic transformation to the property that I think people would be really interested in. Sure. And first, let's talk a little bit about this pond. I see, is that a geese that's like actually about to...
That's a heron.
Okay.
That's a great blue heron, and there's lots of them. There's actually a rookery back there. So that means that they live there. It's their home.
Wow.
So you'll always see, there's resident 3, 4, sometimes 5, you'll see.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I know you said there is actually an abundance of wildlife here.
There is.
And so there was a neutrino the first day that I came to visit the property.
There's nutria. There's actually a beaver. If you look over there, you can see a couple trees they've been gnawing on.
Look at that.
That just happened last week.
Yeah.
They come through from time to time, in the spring. But we also have otter. There's numerous ducks, geese. The geese have been fun because they're not Canadian geese. They're like American geese. They're here all except for about 2 months of the year.
Oh, that's incredible. And I know you said it's a year-round pond. Mm-hmm. So this is something that people can enjoy year-round.
It's spring-fed, yeah.
Spring-fed. And so it recedes some. And I've been to the property in the late fall when there's considerable more
it
kind
ebbs
of
and
landmass
flows,
in this
correct.
area.
Yep.
And then you can have additional parking and things like that for events there, which is awesome.
Correct.
I've actually been here for a wedding, and it was, with archery right here, just kind of overlooking the pond. Yep. That was incredibly beautiful. And I remember that was, I want to say, in the summer or maybe the fall, and it was carpeted with lily pads, or at least that's my memory.
Right. And they're coming up just now, yeah.
Okay, so they just kind of come back as
it ebbs and flows, 3 or 4 feet with the seasons.
That's amazing. Yeah. You also mentioned has bass fishing. Is that true?
Has the best bass fishing in Southwest Washington.
Okay, is that a tall fishtail?
No, that comes from a guy who worked for the Fish and Wildlife. He actually did a survey and figured there's probably somewhere around 2,500 fish in there, wild fish.
Wow.
So we have crappie, we have big mouth bass, we have bluegill.
Okay.
Occasional catfish you'll catch.
Wow.
So it's just loaded with fish.
That is amazing. I actually love fishing, so I maybe we'll see how long we're on market here. Maybe I'll have to come.
No kid will ever be disappointed on this lake.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. So I'd like to just take a little bit of a look around the property, if you wouldn't mind just doing an exterior tour, and then we'll show you guys the interior of the house in a little bit and do just a little, kind of destinations that I'm used to seeing when I come for the pumpkin patch in the fall.
Yeah, you bet.
Yep. So this farmhouse was actually, or Victorian home actually, was built in 1866. 1866. So
it's very old.
It's very old, and they've done quite a lot of changes to it over time. As you can see, it's got this really neat classic look. And then they've done this beautiful patio that we just sat at in the stone here and overlooking the pond. And then the teepee, I was going to ask, does that come with the property?
Everything it's part of the pumpkin patch, and
yes,
everything related to the pumpkin patch is negotiable.
Okay, awesome.
It's just stunning. Any season out here is perfect for weddings. Mm-hmm. You mentioned the pond. It recedes a little bit over here where there's currently water. Mm-hmm. We do parking on the grass all the way back, and it accommodates quite a few.
Yeah, I've actually used some of that parking area when we came out here for pumpkins in the fall. And as you're looking
all the way to the county road,
trees.
we'll just do grass parking there because the water recedes in this low marsh area. Mm-hmm. So it makes great for parking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember there were quite,
There
several
were-
dozen
there's
cars out there.
Thousands of people
perfectly
in the course of a
parked.
day. They come and they go all day.
Yes, I remember I visited you guys a little bit late in the pumpkin
Yep.
season. It was nearing, I want to say that maybe even the day of Halloween or something.
Yeah.
Tons of pumpkins in the field, very
Yeah.
beautiful. And you said you had over 50,000 visitors.
We grew about 50 ton of pumpkins.
Wow.
And then, so it's the most fertile soil you'll ever encounter. And we also grew about an acre of corn. About half the farms in active agriculture, we farmed organically, so there's no residual of
pesticides or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That
and
was
that's
our
something I
vision.
didn't know. So
Yeah.
that's really neat.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I know you said that honestly the farm grossed about $50,000 as well.
Yeah,
last
not
year.
including the Christmas tree
That's right.
revenue. So we did Christmas trees as well. There's so much potential here.
Yeah.
Between that, our goal was to really fully diversify with the weddings and events, which still could be done.
Yeah. Well, let's wander over to some of those really cool areas for the pumpkin farm. And I want to do a little stop by your garden.
I'm a little embarrassed because it still needs some work.
Oh, no. Compared to my garden, I think it looks amazing.
Oh no, it's a wreck right now. But we have raspberries. These raspberries are prolific over here. My goodness.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, these are several different kinds of raspberries along the raspberry trellis. This is an herb garden here.
Okay.
There's mint,
yeah.
catnip, sage.
Isn't this the mint right here?
and there's mint over here.
Oh, yeah, I see.
And there's so yeah, the cabbage, the cole crops are in. Asparagus should be coming up pretty quick. These are beets, and these are actually holdovers from last year.
Oh, really?
So I actually planted these in, I want to say, like October, and so they hold over the beets. I need to use them or they're going to go to seed.
And what is normally climbing over here?
So that's actually strawberries, but see, that bed's a mess because I haven't weeded it yet. But
Yes,
those are,
but we're in April.
those are Everbear strawberries. They go all the time. Potatoes are right behind you.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Artichokes are back here rising above the grass, and
Yeah.
fruit tree, and then we've got more cole crops. But
And
I'm
I
a little
see you've
embarrassed
got-
because the garden is still a mess.
Oh, no. I mean, in my opinion, compared to mine at this moment, yours looks pretty
All right.
amazing and organized.
But this is
So-
all chicken manure and compost. We're big composters.
I was going to ask about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you had mentioned the soil is so fertile. I was
Oh,
kind of
man.
curious if you had, brought some over here as well, or if any way this is still part of that kind of.
So the Cowlitz River, the county plot map still shows the Cowlitz River there.
Okay.
When the volcano blew, I was told, it moved the river that way.
And we're talking about Mount St. Helens
Mount
from
St. Helens,
1980.
right? For those that
Yeah.
don't know. But yet the underground gravels still feed. I think that's what still feeds the pond
Uh-huh.
and the lake. Because
Yeah,
I think it was
the
actually
underground springs.
the way
Yeah.
it's formed. It was like it was a bend in the river at one
Oh,
point.
gotcha.
But that left incredibly rich soil. It's river bottom land, and it's very, very rich. I mean, you could stick your thumb in and grow another thumb.
I really like that. I think
Yeah.
I'm going to steal that.
You could, yeah. Yeah.
So let's take a look outside the garden. I
Okay.
love this little shack here.
Yeah.
So my family actually came here for the pumpkin patch in last fall. And I needed to get some photos for our Christmas cards for that year. And so I had our kids. We all just kind of lined up in various places, staging around the property. And I actually convinced Rob here to take our photos.
This
and
is our-
one of my favorites was taken right here.
Everybody got a photo in front of the shack. So again, we did
Yeah.
the pumpkin patch for 4 years. This is like the most. It was just honestly, I built it out of necessity. I used slab wood, and apparently that's a cool thing.
Yes.
I did it because it was a cost thing.
Oh.
It's a functioning tool shed. But this was the most popular place. People would come over and go, oh.
It's so cute, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
everything about the lumber and the wood that was used to make it,
Yeah.
and it's functional too, like you said. I mean, this is a fabulous roof,
Yeah, it works.
because it's never going to leak.
Keeps everything dry. You bet.
It doesn't get old. It just stays like that. So,
Yeah.
well, I love it. I love this little shed.
Yeah, that's a
And
cool shed.
we should mention that your wife is actually quite an amazing decorator
She's
and
a
an
decorator.
antiques collector and an events decorator.
She is.
So we'll see touches like that throughout the property, and when we go inside for the tour as well. I want to take a look at some of the other kind of events
We're still
centered
cleaning
things.
up from last year, so
Right.
it's a bit of a mess. But,
Yeah, this is our sort of out of season.
This is the concession stand area.
So we're here at the hot dog area. This is a great concession stand area for
Very
the
popular.
pumpkin patch and your Christmas time too, maybe hot cocoa, that
Yeah,
kind of stuff
yeah.
for when they were doing Christmas trees. I know you guys put extensive investment in this area to make it operate
Right.
well and have power and everything. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we put in its own power source over here. That was considerable expense in order to power the, hot dog cart, the refrigerator, freezer setup. So this is a fully functional concession stand. We focus on hot dogs, but we did a lot of other things. It's a great part, an addendum to the pumpkin patch, if that's something you choose to do. Also as an addendum to the Christmas tree sales that we did. Again, because of the wonderful and the unzoned, you can do so many different things. That's
Definitely.
just what we chose to do. But again, all these the different props and the hot dog cart, we spent considerable dollars on that, and all the props are negotiable as part of the sale. Should someone want to take up the mantle for farming, because this is great farm ground.
Yes. And I can see, everything from the pumpkin patch to any type of additional farming that may work, event center, and like you said, even Airbnb, whatever. There's like everything
There's
you can do.
so much. Absolutely.
So let's take a look at a couple of the other areas that I have seen in full swing.
Okay.
And we're passing the Victorian house here on my left, and then we're just going to go this way. So you said you're doing some work out here today.
We're trying to pick up and clean up, and the reason for the move is a job change, kind of a life change, job change thing.
Yeah, you're heading out to the coast, which is very exciting.
We use the old barn as basically the fruit stand. So we had the weigh stations. It's a mess right now. I'm kind of embarrassed. We had an incidental gift area over here, but the main purpose of this was just decorative, and then we also just had a dry place to do the
Cash
weigh
wrap.
station. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember over here is where you weigh,
We weigh in the
weigh
pumpkins. People
we
line
did
up
our
all the way around the
purchases.
barn.
That's right. I
Yeah.
remember there was a long line and a cute little cash table
With the
here
wheelbarrows,
with
yeah.
helpers.
Yep.
Yeah, it was really magical, and I love the lighting that's strewn
Yeah.
all around. And then of course there's decor everywhere.
Yeah.
So your latest sign I can see here, trees for the pricing there.
Yeah.
$7.50 a foot. So I love it.
So a lot of the different, all the pieces are all negotiable. So
Yeah.
including the antiques.
Yeah,
If
okay,
somebody
yeah.
was wanting to, because there's quite a bit.
Yeah, and I remember I actually purchased a welcome sign
Okay.
and I think a mirror from this antique
Oh,
store
okay,
last fall,
all
which
right,
was
okay.
really neat.
Okay.
When I come out, so let's just go inside. Do we know the age of this structure at all?
I don't know.
It's just been here a while.
I had been told it'd been a blacksmith shop. I don't know.
Okay, it's a really interesting structure, and
It's primitive.
it's primitive,
Yeah.
but I really like it. You guys, I don't know if you did the whitewashing.
I did all the
paint in here.
whitewashing and
Okay.
everything.
Yeah, but it's dry. It
Yeah.
stays dry, and it's just kind of a cool staging area for antiques.
It's a staging.
outdoor
It's
store.
a staging area for the fruit stand.
Yeah.
And addendum stuff. And we
Yeah.
did Christmas trees.
And great
so.
storage. So for
Yep.
a working farm that didn't necessarily, or family farm that didn't necessarily want to do the business side, this would be just tractor storage and
Tractor,
whatever
right?
else.
There's my tractor right there.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I love again the rustic beaming.
Yep.
It has such a cool look to it.
Yep.
And then I remember here this huge field of pumpkins.
This was pumpkins all the way over. So we got about 5 acres in active agriculture, and so again the ground is just really.
I can feel it's really squishy underfoot. It's really
well,
unique.
it's spongy because I brought in lots and lots of. We got the geese out there.
Oh yeah, we can hear them.
They're arguing
upstaging
right
us.
now. Yeah. They'll actually have their babies here in about 4 weeks,
Okay.
4 to 6 weeks. You'll see little yellow blobs walking across the grass. There's several nesting pairs that live here, but
Awesome.
the beauty of this place is not only great for commercial use, it's really a lifestyle kind of a thing. But every year I bring in 50, 60 ton of manure, chicken manure, cow manure, goat manure, any manure I can find. I also add lots of organic material. You see some sawdust here.
Yeah, sawdust, bark
So the
chips.
soil's in tremendous shape. It's really excellent shape.
I remember the pumpkins you had. They were actually very beautiful. You had kind of a light gray.
Yeah,
and
we
then
had
the
various.
popular orange.
We had various decorative ones.
Uh-huh.
The standard, orange ones. My favorite variety is Gladiator. I love Gladiator.
Gladiator. Okay.
This is where we would load up the tractor rides, which is really fun, very popular. So we would encircle the whole property, go through the forest, take them down by the lake, come out here, and then bring them back here to load and unload at the trading post. And so people use it for photo ops. I mean, it worked out really great. So they encircle the entire farm for part of the tractor ride, and we had thousands of people do the tractor ride. So.
That's amazing. I feel that I got missed out. I didn't.
Did you not
didn't
go on the
do that.
tractor ride?
I didn't realize. Didn't you?
Oh,
didn't do
you
it.
missed half the experience.
Yeah, and I think we should mention this is on not quite 10 acres,
Yeah.
so it is a very decent sized land.
Yeah, it
and
is.
I'm sure that took a number
Yeah,
of minutes
it
to
is.
do that tour.
And it feels very private.
Yes, it does feel very private. I mean, the forest, I think, adds a lot. Just the fact that you've got that separation from any other houses that are in that direction. And I noticed also you do have some Christmas trees growing here. So
There were just a few blue spruce that are left
okay.
over.
And
I
the
was
others were brought in, basically.
I was playing with the idea of maybe growing a few more, but
Okay.
I did better with the pumpkins. So we've still got mumpkins. These are mumpkins.
Mummified
Mummified
pumpkins.
Yeah, these are mumpkins.
Mumpkins.
Left over from last year.
I feel like I've learned several things from
Yeah.
you today that I can use going forward.
All
So
right.
thank you for spending this time
All right,
with me.
thank you for
Let's
coming
go
out.
ahead and take a look inside the farmhouse next. And thank you so much. That was an amazing outside tour that Rob gave us of his home and land, and now we get to come inside and take a look at the house itself. Again, this house is from 1866. I'll point out some of the things that they have remodeled along the way, and let's take a look. So you can see there's a lovely porch here. You can hang out, have some coffee, overlook the lake, and we had talked extensively about that lake earlier. Come on in. So you have main staircase going up, and then I'm just going to move the door here, and another passway heading that way. So let's go take a look at the kitchen. So we have this huge dining area, lovely and just full of amazing antiques. Like I said, they are, the wife is also an antiques collector, a decorator, and an events decorator. So she just does amazing work, and this is not coming with the house, but you can see how you might design it similarly. And then this is the kitchen. It is quite large, a nice sized kitchen. It has the rustic paint applied to the wood here. Really cool touch. I love the whole paint palette in here. I think it just gives it an interesting sense of history. You can even see some of the older tin wallpapering here. And then really cool fixtures. And then let's come in here. So this was an addition that was started and is still waiting for its next owner to be fully completed. But this is roughly a 500 square foot addition that was created and by the current owners. It has the nice vinyl windows and looks out onto the back and side yards there, as well as a corner view that you have of the pond. And actually what they intended was that this would be a kitchen. So you have the opportunity to create this huge kitchen, or you could use it as an additional living, entertaining, whatnot. But they had the electrical and everything upgraded so that you could literally have your kitchen area there, additional dining area here, and then you could reserve the other kitchen as additional living space or dining. So really cool, something you could do large events, and is just looking for the next person to finish it up. But I love the ceiling in here. It's got this high ceiling. Take a look at that, and it just gives a lot of space. I really love the windows. So let's go take a look at the, this house has one full bathroom. So that is right here. This bathroom was fully remodeled top to bottom. You can see it has high ceilings, very tall trim, and then it's got marble floor tile, and then just nice fixtures throughout. So this is meant to have a look of, you know, the era that it's part of, and this was, you know, over a century ago that this house was created. So the old doors and a lot of other things are still intact, which is really nice, but then it's had some great updates. And then here you can see this nice hallway that connects to the front door here. And then this door goes down to the additional space that's in the basement. It's got a full basement, but is not a living space. So when you ask questions about that or see that on the listing, you'll see this additional space. But it could be a root cellar. It could be a wine cellar. I think there's a lot of things you could potentially do with it. And then this is our green room. Look at this. So this is the living room that when you first come in the front door, you can see this huge space here. Look at all the wood paneling. So this is original to the house, to their knowledge. And it's just beautiful. And of course you can see all the antiques that are in here, but it's nice and spacious. And they have told me that they start every day with a cozy fire that they build here, and that it warms the whole house. And actually it is really warm right now. Thankfully it's not hot to the touch, but it's super cozy and beautiful in here. And they have this really nice river rock backsplash, or back for the fireplace. And then here is another, this could be a bedroom, it could be an office, it could be additional living space. But this just gives you an idea. They are using it right now for a salon. And so it's all set up for that. And then, you know, you could do a variety of things with this, but given that you have this large area here, you could definitely do a huge walk-in closet, maybe create this as your master, or use it as a salon as it's plumbed for here, or whatever you'd like. The fact that you're at an unzoned property gives you lots of potential for business and other uses. So that is our quick tour of the inside. We will be posting pictures of the upstairs as well. And please let us know if you have any questions about this amazing property, such as pricing, availability, and all that. So yeah, hopefully this will be your dream home and the next place where you want to hang your hat. And maybe that's a farmer's hat. Thank you so much.